Thank you all for coming, and good morning. Earlier this week, we received a letter from the US Department of Education, Office of Civil Rights, to notify us that allegations of racial discrimination related to the elimination of men's track and field program have been made. These allegations were made by an individual unaffiliated with the university whose consulting business aims to push universities like ours into reinstating canceled track programs, even when it is not in the best interest of the institution or its students. I want to be very clear. Allegations of racial discrimination are unfounded, and an investigation is not an indictment. This simply means that the OCR has received a complaint, that the complaint is under their jurisdiction, and that OCR has asked us to provide information. The OCR is carrying out its federally mandated responsibility to look into the claims made by this individual. We understand the seriousness and the importance of this objective process. We will comply fully, and I strongly believe OCR will find no evidence to support claims of racial discrimination. Furthermore, the OCR letter states that opening an allegation for investigation does not mean that the OCR has made a decision about the complaint. During the investigation, OCR is neutral. We will provide the information necessary to assist the OCR as it completes this investigation. As previously shared, the decision to eliminate men's track and field was based on financial, compliance, and student success factors. There was no racial discrimination involved. The accusation is contrary to CMU's core values and ongoing commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. The decision to eliminate any well-led program is always a last resort and is very difficult for all of the individuals involved. In this case, the decision to eliminate men's track and field for financial, compliance, and student success reasons impacted 30 student athletes, 3 black students, 3 multiracial students, 2 international students, and 22 white students. We understand it was a difficult transition, and we work closely with each and every student athlete to ensure they maintain their scholarships and received other support as they completed their degrees. Our choice later in adding men's golf was again motivated by financial, compliance, and student success reasons. Any allegation to the contrary is inaccurate and misleading. We have hired an outstanding coach with a record for national success and who has clearly demonstrated a commitment to promoting diversity and inclusion as part of his recruitment strategy and in the sport of golf overall. With all of our sports and throughout our university, diversity, inclusivity, accessibility, and student success are always our top priorities. We are committed to ensuring open pathways and exceptional learning opportunities and competitive opportunities for each and every student. Thank you again for being here. I would now like to take questions, and in honor of our students, I'll look to CM Live for the first question if they have one.
Is that dialogue continues?
We made the decision for financial, compliance, and student success measures. Unfortunately, those do not change.
What was the cost difference of starting a golf program opposed to what it would have cost to bring back the track team?
To have a competitive track and field team, the cost is at least $1 million. In the MAC conference for competitive golf is about half of that. But again, I want to be clear. There's financial reasons, but there's also the student success reasons as well as compliance reasons that we need to have part of the discussion.
And you mentioned the racial breakdown of the track team that was taken away. Do you have the same racial breakdown for the current golf team?
The current golf team is being recruited. Right now, I know of 8 student athletes who have made a commitment, 3 of which are students of color.
So there's been a network of alumni who have been trying and working hard to bring the track program back since May 2020. What's your communication been like with that group of alumni throughout this process, but really since the program has kind of evolved?
Early in the process, myself, as well as athletic director Amy Folan, and also to a certain degree former athletic director Michael Alford, did have communication with the group. We appreciate their passion, and we also expressed to them, again, the reasons for the decision was the 3 that I've mentioned previously: the financial, the compliance, and student success.
No.
I should have seen one. Good seeing you.
Next we'll go to Lynn, WILS.
What are you telling students as they learn about this information, as they, think about coming here? How are you kind of trying to ease their minds or kind of trying to help them out with that?
At Central Michigan University, we offer many ways for students to be engaged with the university. And we provide those opportunities throughout the entire process. Some students choose to be involved athletically, others choose many other ways to be involved. And we are always promoting those ways to be a student at Central Michigan University.
All right, next we will go to Courtney, Mid-Michigan Now.
President Davies, when it comes to student success, you mentioned that was one of the reasons. What do you mean by that?
When we look at student success, especially for student athletes, we have set a goal of a championship ring on one hand and a diploma on the other. And those are the things that we look at. Student success throughout the entire university is the progress towards the degree and being engaged within the university.
And are you saying that those 30 students who were impacted by eliminating that men's track and field team were not on track to getting a degree here?
No, I am not saying that. What I am saying, though, is that the competitive nature of men's track was not at the levels it could be.
If you were to reinstate this men's track and field team, what other men's sport would the university have to get rid of in compliance?
Again, I would put forward that we made this decision based on the compliance, the financial, and the student success. As we evaluated sports to add to the men's side, to remain compliant with the NCAA, we already took that into consideration. That is why we chose men's golf.
Tess, Midland Daily News.
Where is the home field of the golf?
That has not been decided at this particular time.
Helpful first Tess, any follow-ups?
Yeah, is there any conversation over local donations?
We are involved in all of the local areas in that process.
So CMU indicates that the annual investment to run the championship level men's track and field program in Mac is about $1 million. What's the revenue and what is the net cost or benefit of that program?
Of men's track? To my recollection and knowledge, there is no revenue from men's track. I would also like to point out that as a whole, we do not have net revenue producing sports.
Americans at about 20%. When the track program was shut down, the population, as the university identified of people of color, was 20%. How does this compare with, you had 30 people and 6 you had indicated were people of color to some degree, African American or biracial. The National Golf Association says competitive golf sees a population of African American recreational swimmers about 3%, and about 1.5% when it comes to competitive. And you gave some numbers. It sounds like the numbers are coming in above that for CMU. But what are you anticipating when you look at this overall population that typically you're drawing from these schools?
We have hired a golf coach that has outstanding credentials as a coach, championships in the conference level, competing on the national level, and he has done so through a process of identifying and having diverse golf teams. I look forward to see what Coach Jennings will do here at Central Michigan University. He has already started off on a very good footing.
I'll go to Katie. If you have any questions?
Yes, President Davies from 9 and 10. Hi. What's next? What's next after this for Central?
For Central Michigan University, what is next? We will respond, as I mentioned, fully to the OCR process. We will follow this through. I, again, state firmly, I believe that the OCR will find that these claims are unfounded.
All right, Tess?
You mentioned the golf team is recruiting right now. I'm wondering how the university is going to ensure that the recruiting process will keep diversity in mind.
We go back to the commitment that the head coach brings with him and his track record. And to me, I think that what he has done and what he is doing now forecast a very bright future.
Michael?
Can you describe what the OCR investigation process will look like and approximately how long it will last? Is that something you know right now?
We have, if I'm not mistaken, 15 days to respond to the questions. Then it will be in the OCR's hands, and it would be erroneous for me to predict how long that process would take.
Christian?
Yeah, so there was a lengthy amount of time between the announcing the decision to cut track and the announcing the decision to officially add men's golf. How long did that process take working with Athletic Director Folan, and how many men's sports did you evaluate the possibility of adding, and I guess how did you just come to the conclusion of men's golf?
Through the process of selecting men's golf, and again, very astute of you to notice the break in the process. These were two different decisions. The elimination of men's track, again, for the financial, student success, and compliance reasons, and the addition of men's golf. They were two separate decisions. So thank you for pointing that out. We looked at, our Athletic Director Folan looked at many different opportunities, and looking at, again, the financial side, the competitive side, how will they fit in with the MAC conference, how will they fit in within our footprint, and again, the student success opportunities that would prevail. A wide range of sports were looked at, and golf was ultimately selected.
Yeah, I'd like to take a moment to read this question on behalf of Isabel Lohman from Bridge, Michigan. I have a question for President Davies. Is the goal of a championship ring and a diploma on either hand codified in any formal university documents, strategic plans, or board initiatives?
Very good question. It is a philosophy that I will put forward, and one that Athletic Director Folan and I discussed through the hiring process. It is also a philosophy that I've had with every athletic director that I've worked with. Our goal is to ensure that student athletes are just that, students and athletes. And we want them to compete at the highest levels on their field, track, court, or course, or whatever their competition is, as well as in the classroom.
We have time for just a couple more. I'm going to go to Courtney real quick.
President
President Davies, when it comes to student enrollment here at Central Michigan University, we've seen the numbers that enrollment here has dropped in the last few years. Are you worried that students might choose to go to a different MAC school because Central doesn't have a men's track and field team?
We provide students many opportunities here at Central Michigan University. Athletics is one of them for student athletes who choose to go that route. But there are many other opportunities for students to come to Central Michigan University to be involved in. I would also put forward, with regards to men's track and field, only 4 other institutions in the MAC have men's track and field.
You can introduce yourself again, please.
I'm Ben Job. I work with WCMU. The track team would have had around 30 people who would have had access to, up to 100 educational opportunities, and now this new team is going down to, team sizes of up to 8. So how can CMU assure that their students will still have access to the variety of educational opportunities?
First and foremost, again, there's a lot of opportunities at Central Michigan University. Athletics is one way. And so we do look at other opportunities for students to be involved. And again, that's something that we modify and work on throughout the entire year and across the institution.
You mentioned the new head coach being very successful in the past and also with diversity. Is CMU able to provide information, or can you give us information on his background in having diverse teams?
I'd be happy to provide Coach Jennings' bio to you, and there's also information on our website.
And I can include that in a follow-up email today, and I can contact me as well.
I would also just put forward that Coach Jennings, for the last 5 years, has been at Prairie View A&M University, where he served as head coach for the men's and women's teams, and led them to successful championship runs. And looking at those teams, they are very, very diverse.
Last call for questions? Gordon, one more.
Did Central have a men's golf team prior to this one that you guys started?
Yes, they did. The men's golf team, along with several other sports, were eliminated in the 1980s. I want to go back to the process that I stated earlier. Eliminating a sport is the last choice. This is the first sport that we have eliminated in almost a decade or two. They are never taken easy. These decisions are never light or easy to take.
Does this golf team have alumni backing?
We have received a lot of support from alumni, from the golf team, and others as well.
Does that include money from alumni?
Yes,
Do you have a number on how much money you have received?
not at my fingertips.
All right, hearing no other questions, we will conclude today's press conference. I want to make sure everyone was able to receive a copy from Erin of the OCR letter, some key facts and figures from today. We can also make a copy of President Davies' opening statement available to you if you would like. Just please check in with Erin. Also, if you have questions, please do note that our contact information is at the bottom of the documents you received. We'd be happy to provide follow-up if we can.
Again, thank you for attending. We appreciate it. Thank you.